We're at the rental house again today. You can see we got a hurting window here. So we got a new one for it. Come check this thing out. Seen some better days. So what we're gonna do is the same thing we did with that door. Demo, prep, and install. Those three things. Try to keep it simple, keep it planned out, and it should usually go pretty well. Fingers crossed. So first thing we're going to do is cut out all the caulking around the edges. We're going to figure out this window is old, it's nailed. So we'll pull the casing out from the inside, cut around, drop it out, and then assess the damage, see if there's any rot or anything in the framing, and go from there. So let's get this going. So we found a little bit of rot just in the bottom here of this. There we go. Easier than I thought it would be to pull it out, but a little bit messier. Good thing I know the mutter, in this case the plaster. We'll get all that old insulation out because we're going to use, but here, have a look at this. So this is what they had for insulation. Nothing here. So you're getting like a little bit of R value, but what is that, like R2? That's not good. Alright, so we put in a little membrane there, some flashing tape at the bottom. Holy smokes, this is actually bang on level. And so is this side. Just tuck it in. Look at that. Meant to be something that was completely missed when they did the siding, because you can tell this siding isn't that old. But yeah, we got that tucked in nice, so our brick mold is just going to go in underneath that once the window's in, and the water hits that and just comes off rather than going back or having a chance to go back. We got the window here, just going to set it in place. They got Dave on the inside. So we have a nailer strip here. That nailer strip is where our brick mold's going to go. So our brick mold has to go from here onto here and get to there. So we want to make sure that... Ah, Dave, you're squishing my finger, man! Okay, so you can see we've shimmed everything. Now you can see how this is going to tuck in behind here. So next thing we're going to do, Dave's going to open the window. We're going to drill some holes, put some screws through, and then I've got these little caps that I put in just to plug the screw holes. So I had to plane the top of this side down just to get it, so I got a evenly spaced reveal here. I'm going to do brick mold here. The bottom didn't work out the way we anticipated, so what I decided to do was take some of this composite board and just step it out like this. So now I'm going to use some PL Premium Max. So I'm sure a lot of you have used LePage's PL 400, PL Premium. This is the Max. This is their strongest, most durable adhesive. And it can be used down all conditions down to minus 12 degrees Celsius. Bonds all materials. So this stuff like grabs really quick. So you can see I've got my line here. And you still can reposition it, but it does grab very, very nicely. So see here, put it here like this. How it just rolls on super, super nice. Put it where I want it. On my joints here, just put a little bit of that PL Premium Max on here. And then one day when someone pulls this apart many years from now, they're gonna wonder, what the heck did he use? It's not coming apart like it should. That's what we want to do, build things to last, right? So I'll pop that in there. They're nice and tight. Just gonna put in a few nails to hold it in place. There you go. So to seal up the window, I'm going to use some LePage Quad Max. This is the window, door, and siding. It comes in white. Well, the stuff we're using is white. And the nice thing about it is it can adhere to most building materials without any use of primer. It's definitely the right stuff to use to keep the air and moisture out. Just look how smooth it goes on there. So here I'm just sealing up the J trim to the brick molding. This is a common practice for these retrofits. The thing is, you do not want to get any moisture in behind, so this is a perfect sealant for it because the Quad Max is for windows, doors, and siding. I can leave it unpainted and it's going to be completely fine. So now that we're all done sealing around the window we just installed, I want to show you guys a window that was probably installed a few years ago, just around this other side here. So here's a window that was probably installed like 2019, and you can see that they did not use Quad Max because it's completely discolored from all the dirt and dust. And I don't know how flexible it is. Like, I think it's going to start drying out and peeling off. So for foaming around the window, I'm going to use the quad foam from LePage. This is the window and door low expansion foam. So it's just a lot easier to work with, a lot easier to control, and it's not going to make anything warp. So the nice thing about the quad foam is it adheres to drywall, concrete, and wood, and it's compatible with asphalt and butyl flashing. You can see how nicely it comes out. Don't want to put too much in there, but we want to make sure there's enough. So a tip when you're using the quad foam, you can see on the picture here, the instruction, they're holding it upside down when they're using the straw and holding it upside down when it's on the LePage gun. So that means when you spray, you're supposed to have it upside down, not this way. So I've got my frame put together, or my jam extension frame. I'm just going to put it in place. You come around here, you can have a look. See, it's all nice and tight. The wood was like a little warped, so it is what it is. Made it work. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut all my casings and I'm going to attach them to this frame, and then I'll be able just to set this in. I'm using pine around the window with our winters and stuff. Even though it's a new window, there's a chance it could still sweat. So if you use MDF, it's probably going to swell up. Well, it is going to swell up. Guaranteed. It's going to get mold and stuff on it. So use a solid wood and you don't really have to worry about things swelling up. So I've got the jam extension attached to the casings. And let's just put her in place here, see how she fits. That's really good. It hides everything here. Sits up against the chair rail nicely, and I just gotta nail it in place. For the window install, we use the low expansion window and door quad foam. Now for filling gaps and cracks, we use tight foam. So you can see here, I've got a gap, an opening there. I've shook this up really good. Comes with a little dispenser on the cap. We'll put that on, it clicks right in around the edges, and then what we do is we remove this little guy here. We put it upside down. You spray this stuff upside down, not like this, and we just spray it in here, but not too much because it's going to expand. And we're good to go. Now the cool thing about this tight foam dispenser is, let me put a little bit off right there. I popped out this little plug. We just put that in, and now we're good to use it the next time. The nice thing about this tight foam is that it can be sanded and painted. And that's a wrap, guys. Thanks for tuning in again for another project on the 100-year-old house. So we've got a lot more to do on the house, but now I'm confident that this window is going to last a really long time. We don't even have to paint anything here. It's all composite material that we put on here. Even with the Quad Max, that doesn't have to be painted. It can be just left. So yeah, again, thanks for tuning in. We'll see you on the next.